Hi guys, Chynna here, and I am bringing you guys a beginner makeup tutorial for a lot of people who asked me. And I did half my face already. There's no makeup on the other side, so I'm going in with like kind of basic tools and tricks for your makeup. Try to keep it very beginner friendly. Okay, I'm starting out with the brows first because that's normally how I start my routine. I'm using a angled brush, and I'm also using a product that MAC has, a retractable brow pencil. And I'm just going in light strokes, filling in the scarce spaces on my brows. And I'm just going with my natural brow line. When you advance, you can take it into whatever shape or, you know, darkness or, you know, shade or whatever that you want. But in the beginning, it's good to just stick with what God gave you naturally, or what the Asian lady at the salon gave you. So you're gonna take that concealer and use that angle brush that I showed you, and you are going to just basically define the line that you already have a little bit more. So this is just giving you definition. It's gonna give you like a freshly waxed look, basically. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring that product down so that I can easily blend it out with my fingers or with a brush. But for, you know, beginner purposes, you just blend it with your finger, not a big deal. And that eyeliner on the other eye is wonky. Anyways, I'm going in with my eyeshadow primer from Urban Decay. There's no way to get around this, ladies. A lot of ladies ask me why the eyeshadow creases or why it just doesn't pop like that, and that's because you're not using a base. You have to use a primer or a base for the product to have something to stick onto, just for it to be more pigmented, to prevent creasing and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna use a fluffy brush for my eyeshadow, and then I'm gonna use like a brush with, like, you know, it's more densely packed with the little bristles or whatever. And these are the two brushes I'm gonna use for my eyeshadow, just to keep it simple. Okay, and I'm gonna use my matte palette that I created, and clearly I didn't create that much, but anyways, I'm using this brown color. I think it's Swiss chocolate, but I'm using this like brownish warm brown color in my crease, and you see I'm going in circular motions and kind of just sweeping that in my crease. And you want to do that to prevent harsh lines. Okay, so like I said, you're going in a windshield wiper motion, and you're blending out in circles. Okay, and I'm using my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which is a perfect first, you know, or beginner palette for women of color. If you're looking for neutral colors, you can see which color I use the most. You already see me smell it. I do that every time. It smells like chocolate, no lie. They did great with that. So that smell is awesome. So I'm gonna go in, as you can see, with that color. I have no idea what the name of it is anymore. And you're gonna see me just pat that color in. You do not want to drag the color, because you'll lose, you know, you lose the color, you lose the product. So you're just gonna pat that into or onto the lid, and then kind of just go back in a little bit and blend that out. And I just use two colors because when you're starting out, it's just the easiest, it makes the most sense. You're just bringing in some colors to the eyes, nothing fancy. Like I said, this is very beginner friendly, and I'm gonna use, instead of liquid or gel or anything like that, I'm gonna use an eye pencil, an eyeliner pencil, which I haven't used in so long. And generally what you're gonna do is hold your eyelid and apply it, so you get like a smooth, even, you know, sharper line than I got. But I just wanted to give you like the basic, you know, idea of it, and show you that you can use an eyeliner pencil. So if you don't feel comfortable, if you're like, you know, having issues with your gel liner, your liquid liner, liquid more so than anything is what people have issues with. But if you have an issue with it, go back to that pencil. It ain't never hurt nobody. And so you can actually stop. This is optional. You can just pick out your favorite mascara. I don't have any hairs on my bald little eyes, so I like to use lashes. But like I said, this is optional, and the trick to eyelashes is applying a thin coat of the eyelash glue. I'm like getting tongue-tied. And using some tweezers. And you want to wait 30 seconds to like a minute, however long it takes for it to get tacky. And believe me, honey, the wait seems like forever. But anyways, I'm blowing on those because they're mine. But if it was for a client, do not blow on the lashes. It's weird and gross. So anyways, as I continue to wait, you're going to apply the lashes, stick them on the middle area first. That's going to be the easiest. It's going to give you the most control. And you can stick them on with, you know, with the tweezer. That will probably be the easiest if you're just starting out, but ain't nobody got time for that. Woo! Yeah, so I am going to then go in with the tweezers, and the tweezers is gonna help you precisely put them on and get them exactly where you want them, and, you know, just hold those suckers in. But yeah, so that's the trick with lashes. And just time and practice. Like, nothing happens overnight. Rome was not built in a day, and it probably was not built in 2 days. Or maybe it was, because the Romans was real legit at the time. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just making sure those lashes are on. Like I said, you could definitely use a mascara. Definitely. So that is just depending on whatever you like for your personal lashes. But look, we got them on. So now what I'm just doing is I am putting some moisturizer on this face, which I have oily skin, but I won't even get into the science of dryness and oily and all that good stuff. Why I'm not using a primer, I tend to not really use primers like that, just based off of my face. I tend to just moisturize it. But, you know, you can go to Sephora, go anywhere and pick up products just for your skin type. If you have oily, dry, you would, you know, want to put that on before foundation, of course. So I'm just applying my Makeup Forever foundation by the boatload. I have no idea why. Since I'm doing a voiceover, I'm not in that moment. I can't tell you why it's dripping off my face like that. That is crazy. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and pack that into the skin. Go ahead and just get that in there. And I like this foundation. As far as picking out a foundation, you really have to try foundations out to see what your color is. You can go to Sephora. They have a machine I think they use for like burn victims or something. They told me the fire team like designed it. So they just swatch your skin and come up with your color. You can go to MAC and be tested, but you do have to like try it out. And then I'm going in with my concealer, which is a MAC cream concealer. It's a Studio Finish, I believe. And I'm just using a sponge, an old school sponge, like no beauty blender, just a regular sponge that you can get from the dollar store or the beauty store for like $2. And what people don't understand is you can go out and spend a whole bunch of money. You definitely can, and that's fine. But you do still have the capability to use the same old tools that people have been using for like 20 years, and you can get the same results. So yeah, I'm just going under the eye. And you want to stop at your nose when you are highlighting. So you don't want to go any lower than your nose. And you could totally stop at this point. You could just put on your foundation and go and be done with it. If you feel comfortable and you want to take some extra measures, like some highlight and contouring, this would be how you would do it. I do the my forehead because I have a small forehead. So highlighting is enhancing, it's making it larger, etc., etc. And I'm going to do the bridge of my nose just to emphasize that because, you know, I want to emphasize. So yeah, so like I said, this is completely optional. You can stop at any step on this tutorial. If you don't like foundation, if you don't wear it and just want to see how to do eyes, that's fine. If you want to, you know, do the whole full face glam beat situation, you can as well. So I'm using a fluffy brush to just blend out that concealer so we don't see any harsh lines, and that's really important. You just don't want to see any harsh lines. And to set it, or to make sure that the product stays on and it gets into the skin and it sits lovely, you're gonna use a setting powder. I prefer translucent setting powder. You can use some with a little tint in it. You can use banana powder. I suggest use banana powder if you have more cool undertones. If not, it may make you look a little washed out. But yeah, I'm just gonna apply that in the areas where I have highlighted. And you can even use a compact. You can use whatever looks the best to you, you can use. Okay, and so now I'm just gonna dust that off. I don't bake for like 30 minutes like some people do. I've never seen the benefit in it on my personal, in my personal experience on my face. So yeah, I just do it for like a minute or so, and I go ahead and dust it off. Okay, and so my next step is I'm going to contour. Contouring to me is the easiest with powder. So if I was just starting out, I would just go in with powder, and like I said, you're going to use a fluffy brush, circular motions. We don't want any harsh lines. And also contouring kind of helps to add a little bit of color back in your face, as you can see. So I'm going in with that. I'm doing, my cheekbones, because I want those to be a little bit more defined. I want to just, like I said, add some color back into my face. And with this, when it comes to highlighting and contouring, I believe in the beginning you should do 1 to 2 shades. And I like to just do 1 to 2 shades anyways. So 1 to 2 shades lighter for highlighter and 1 to 2 shades darker for contouring. And I feel like that's the most natural looking, and that's why I suggested it. Because too dark of a contour brings attention to an area, and you're trying to bring attention away from it. Like you're trying to decrease or carve out, and you don't want to be saying, oh, look at this nose. You're going in to make your nose smaller, and you're saying, look at this nose. Like, you know what I mean? So you don't want to do too dark. Now, when it came to my contour on my nose, I should have used a fluffier brush so that the product wouldn't go on so heavy, but hindsight is 2020. But I'm just giving you the general concept. So that is how I would contour, like using powders. And I'm gonna go in and diffuse it with the fluffier brush, with the bigger brush. Okay, because it was very intense, honey, very intense. So now I'm going in with another fluffy brush, actually the same brush, but don't tell nobody. And I am applying my, what is it called, Jesus? My blush, that's what it's called. Help me, Father. So yeah, I'm just applying that to the apples of my cheeks just to give me some good color as well. And that's RAIZIN, which is good for everybody, but really good for women of color. Now I'm going to choose my liner, lip gloss selection. Okay, so I'm using CORK. Now I don't use CORK, but I'm using it for, video purposes. I use chestnut. I'm not a fan of CORK for me. But anyways, I'm applying the CORK lip liner. And you don't want to do it so hard that you break the pencil or anything like that. Everything in makeup is better when you do it lightly and you start off with a little bit. You can always intensify it. Okay, so I'm going with my natural lip line, and I'm using this MAC lip gloss in SNOB, I think. Yeah, I believe it's SNOB. I'm going to leave everything in the description box. And I'm just putting that on and blending that together. And that's just a simple lip. Giving you a little pink, a little brown, Nothing major, great for beginners as I stated, and this look is done. Or is it? So, no. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glow, and as you can see, those are the designated areas that you want to add it to. You can also add it to your forehead, inner corners, under your brow bone. I chose not to do that, but you can. And I'm also adding that black liner to my bottom lid. And I tend to kind of like go in, like I said, very lightly with the furthest of tip, so that you're not hurting yourself or poking yourself in the eye. And little strokes. Like I said, small strokes, light strokes, those are going to be the best, the safest, because you don't want to put an eye out trying to put makeup on. It just wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, and now I'm going to spray my face so it doesn't look so cakey and powdery. If you ever wondered what that step was for. Okay, and here we actually are. It's finally the end, guys. I'm serious this time. So yeah, this is my beginner look. If you have any questions or comments or anything, leave them below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, please. You guys are awesome, and thanks for the support.